Hello everyone, Carolyn and Jana back here with you from Holistic Institute of Wellness.
Hey everybody.
How's your new year going, Jana?
So far so good.
All right, awesome.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, that's right. So we're entering into the month of February, and of course February has always been seen as the month of love. We celebrate Valentine's Day with our significant others, and sometimes we have friend gatherings. I forget what friendiversaries
Friendversaries?
or friendletons, or I don't
I haven't
know.
heard that one.
Anyway, everybody has a Valentine, whether it's your significant other, a friend, family
right.
member, whatever. So, but what Jana and I want to talk to you today about is focus more on the self-love and self-care, and how you can really take care of yourself during these times.
Yes, especially during these times.
Yeah, and so treating the whole self. So we're going to talk today about the different levels of self-care, the spiritual self-care, the mental, the emotional, the physical, and then also the energetic, because we want to address the whole self, just not parts of it.
Right, all the different layers that a lot of people will always hear us talking about. It's a good 4 to 5 layers of who we really are.
Exactly. Yes.
Make us up. So each of those layers are being just challenged, if you will, for lack of a better term right now. And there's no reason why we can't get through this. That's for sure. We have plenty of tools, plenty of information.
Yes.
And so we just need some reminders from time to time. And this month is perfect.
It is.
It is, definitely.
It really is.
Self-love, self-care, because there is so much, just so many emotions floating around right now.
Yes.
And it's gotten very busy.
Yeah. And,
Very busy.
The more that we can turn inward to ourself, actually, and work on ourself, it's amazing how much the collective consciousness actually settles down. And a lot of people don't necessarily understand that, but it's the amount of energy that you are projecting out into the universal flow, into the quantum field. And so when you can get calm and centered within yourself, then the energy that you're emitting out in the universal flow is also calmer.
Right.
So if we could all just take the month of February and focus more on ourselves and our whole self and self-love, then I really think we would see a shift and a change.
Yep, remember the magnetics.
Yes.
That we're always talking about. What you put out will come back in.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. All right, Jana, well, let's jump in.
okay,
You ready?
ready?
Okay. So from a spiritual self-care standpoint, some of the things that you can do, and before I jump into that, what we are offering to you today is just a mixture of things that Jana and I both have tried through the years, and we've got quite a few, tips here for you, different exercises. We provided a lot of variety, because if anybody out there is like me, I have to have a lot of variety because I get bored. So I like to be able to do different things to take care of myself. So we're offering a mixture of information for you all, and hopefully you'll walk away from here with just one thing that will uplift you or inspire you. So from a spiritual standpoint, there's always wonderful mindful meditation. And a couple of people that we enjoy, one is Steve Noble, and he's out there on YouTube. Also, over at the Holistic Institute of Wellness on YouTube, we have several different recorded meditations that are available to you that will allow you just to listen to someone else's voice and take you through a grounding, centering process.
Right.
The other thing you can do is read like a spiritual book. I know, Jana,
Absolutely.
this really helps you. You have about 4 or 5 books going at a time.
It's true. This is true. And for me, that's where I find my peace.
Yeah.
The more information I have, I seem to be able to discern and disseminate what feels right to me as well, right? It's intellectual and emotion and feeling. And that's where I find my peace. If I can understand it, then I can make logic out of it and then I can calm down and stay peaceful.
Yes.
In my center.
Right.
Right.
So the other thing you can do is offer up some positive affirmations, I am statements, coming from a place of gratitude, just anything that feeds your soul.
Right.
And again, we're all different, but those positive affirmations and the gratitude and just looking around and being thankful for what you have, I mean, that really does feed the soul.
Yes.
And so that will really help you care for your spiritual body, as we like to call it, and will just bring more peace. And I think that's what a lot of us are searching for right now. I know for me personally, that's what I'm looking for, is to find just that internal peace. Last year, our words that carried us through was faith and trust. Those words are carrying over into this year, I believe, for both of us, right?
Yes.
And so also now adding in peace to that, because I know when I feel peace and calm within myself, I just feel a lot better about life in general.
Right. And regarding the positive affirmations, same thing. Remember, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Just do a few. If it feels like it's overwhelming and you feel like you're supposed to do a whole bunch, just pick 3 easy ones at the beginning. Like we always say, it's the easiest way to help it stick. And I know also, with another plug to Steve Noble, he does a beautiful meditation regarding positive affirmations. So literally all you have to do is sit there and listen.
That's right.
And it's a beautiful, I think it's a 15-minute, 20-minute meditation. And he will go through a whole series, and then he'll loop back. So if you're afraid you miss anything, you'll hear it again several times over.
Yes.
And it's a wonderful way just to be and just to let it kind of seep in to your mind.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Jana. So moving along to the mental and how to care for yourself on a mental level, one of the biggest things that you can do is journal out your thoughts. Yeah. And I know you all hear us a lot on these videos talk about journaling, and you will continue to hear that. Because I am an avid proponent of journaling.
It's our jam.
It is our jam. The reason for that is because we have the physical body, but we have the energy body, and we have these layers of energy. And we literally have a mental layer, and we have an emotional layer, just like our physical layer. So the thoughts that we continuously think, and Jana, about on average, what are we looking at on a daily basis?
2,000 to 60?
That's what I read. Yeah.
I've read.
I mean,
that's possible.
Yes, that's quite a big span.
It's huge. And
Yeah.
that's how many literally goes through your day, goes through your mind in a day.
Yeah.
Talk about being on automatic pilot,
Yes.
right? Don't even know it's floating through your head.
Right. So journaling those thoughts down, just random thoughts. I mean, people all the time are like, Carolyn, I don't know what to journal. Just settle down, take a few deep breaths and get in touch with yourself and figure out what you're thinking. Most of us don't even know what we're thinking half the time. So if you can get in touch with your thoughts, then you'll know what to write down. And if you just start jotting down the thoughts, over a period of time, they're going to turn into full sentences. And then you're going to figure out how you're actually feeling, which will, help with the emotional body, which we'll talk about more in a minute. The other thing, of course, is releasing negativity out of your life. Like if it's negative, just don't engage with it. Don't participate in the conversations that drop your vibration. Don't engage in material that you're reading that gets you in this state of anger or upsetness. I'm not saying put your head in the sand. I'm just saying be mindful of what you're choosing. Because when you listen to certain things and you read certain things, that's all going into your mind, your energy, and your body.
Right.
So old habits, conditioning, unfortunately, maybe some people that aren't in support of who you are and where you're at on your path and constantly bring you down. And I'm not saying by any means to, cut them out of your life, although sometimes that's necessary. But what I am saying is give them the opportunity just to say, hey, this is not working for me. Like if you're going to continue to be in your state, we're going to have to find a different way to be around each other because this isn't working for me. If you can allow yourself the opportunity to come up and meet me where I am, then we can move forward. So that's just something to really be aware of.
Yes, and or gossip or anything like
Yeah.
that. It's true. It's all the same. It's same thing, frequencies. So what are you choosing to be involved with? What frequency are you choosing to radiate at, if I will? Again, just like you'll hear this a lot, radio station. Remember the good old days when we actually had to turn the dial to find the radio station, and there was always static in between.
Yeah.
And sometimes that static was very, very alarming. It was sharp. It was uncomfortable until you found the perfect radio station, and then you were as good as gold. So, yes, yeah. Be careful where you radiate. Be aware of where you radiate, I should say.
Very good
and
point.
you will. It'll all. You'll start to discern. You'll get a really good feeling of when you walk into a room, and if it feels good, great. If not, then just kind of check the room out and see what's going on.
Maybe I shouldn't be here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That whole thing.
And the topic.
Yeah. So on an emotional level, what's really wonderful for the emotional level is creative projects. And that is different for everyone. So things like painting and coloring, working in your garden if you have one. Like I have a dear friend that loves her garden, and that really grounds her, connects her to the earth. It helps her to be more centered, and I believe it's helped her become more aligned and actually focus. So that's, working with your hands, doing things like pottery. Some people knit, which is wonderful. Anything that you can really work with the hands is awesome because, again, the hands and the heart are connected. So when you work with the hands, it really helps you get centered in your being. So if coming from a heart place. And then, when I mention painting, I'm not talking about, being Picasso, just, Jana, you've done this with me, like painting for process,
Yes,
right?
I have.
And
Absolutely.
how was that for you? Just
Painful.
Jana.
I am painting for me is not a natural process. So my brain gets in there and thinks I have to be Picasso. Remember, it's just programming. That's my programming. So to me, it tends to be uncomfortable, but it is a fabulous avenue. It really is. I do believe in the avenue of it. So.
When you were on this other side of the pain, how did it feel?
Awesome. Awesome.
That's what I'm looking for here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So be like Jana, work through the pain and have an awesome experience.
It just triggered me, that's all. That's all it did. And that's okay because I probably needed it.
Yeah.
Right? The question is why was I feeling so inferior? So it's just literally processing. That's why they call it process painting. But I think it's a fabulous form, I do, of working and clearing, and some people would call it therapy, but I always recommend it to my clients as well.
Yeah.
I do. It's we all need an avenue, especially now. Just we must be able to channel all these different types of experiences we're having.
That's right. Absolutely. And then, of course, journaling, journaling your feelings, getting those out on the paper. And then I love to, what I've deemed the OLP process, which is out loud processing. I love to talk out loud to myself. I fully admit it. When I'm driving down the road, I'm having a conversation with what I call my divine guidance team. I may be praying. But it just, I've done this my whole life. I've always said I was my best therapist because when I was younger, and as soon as I could drive, boy, I would drive down the road and just talk out loud all the time. And I've kept it up for the last, several decades, and it really works for me. It helps me clear out. It helps me get in touch with how I'm feeling, what's going on. So if journaling doesn't suit your fancy, then just talk out loud to yourself because it always helps. Do you ever do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I've been known to scream a time or two as well.
Yeah, me too.
I have. It's actually,
Yeah.
it's a great place. Obviously, I'll always look around wherever I am. But like on my long trips, I was doing a whole bunch of Atlanta trips a few years back, and it was the perfect time to do it,
Yeah.
right? Because all the cars are all spread out for the most part. And so I didn't feel insecure or bizarre about if someone looked and saw
Saw a crazy person screaming down the
a
road.
crazy person screaming down the road.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
but I absolutely, again, whatever works.
Yeah.
Whatever works. Yeah.
Agree.
Absolutely.
Go
So moving on, the physical vessel, right? The physical layer of who we are is imperative that you find an avenue to clear, because everything we've talked about, you'll always hear us say, if it hasn't gotten worked through to a certain degree, it will eventually land in the physical. It's simple physics. It's just how it's working its way through the layers. And the physical layer is the last layer. And so symptomology tends to show up. And of course, in my line of work, this is what I'm working with every single day. So I know for me, I'm a big workout buff. That is very cathartic to me, to be able to lift weights and jump on the elliptical, get a good sweat in. That's me. It's always been me. I've been doing that truly since I was a very young adolescent, really. And that was my stress reliever. And then as I got older, it became a mental reliever as well. It helped me work out the mental stress as I was getting into my career more and more. So physical workouts are great, and healthy foods are a big one. Again, you will always hear us say that. You'll hear it in our classes. We started talking about nutrition from the very beginning when we started teaching classes. I know we're big proponents of cellular cleansing, and that does take some research to understand it. It's not rocket science. Just know that the cleaner you can be, the lighter you can be with what you're eating, I promise you everything else to process happens much quicker. Think of the density, right? If we are eating unhealthy or processed foods, my gosh, your body, physical and emotional, mental, and spiritual or etheric for that matter, have to work through that. It's like quicksand. And so it's very dense, it's very sticky, it's very heavy. And so there we are again in a whole different situation.
That's right.
So that's why you'll always hear us saying, please be very cognizant of what you're choosing to eat or drink. And again, it's just part of the process. It just is. Just be mindful of that. Yoga, stretching, any kind of movement, again, excellent for the physical vessel. Just stay in motion somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Just get a good walk in if you need to. And I know a lot of people that walking is even a walking meditation. You can do both at the same time. There you go. So you've just knocked out 2 things out of the 5 things we're going to talk about.
While I'm talking out loud to myself.
Exactly. There you go. There's 3. So it's quite time management skills are fabulous when it comes to this. And so a walking meditation or a good walk, again, get the blood pumping.
Yeah, and even when it's cold, Jana,
Yes.
just bundling up, as long as the sun's out, it's a little harder for me on days when it's cloudy. But when the sun's out, even if it's cold, if I'm bundled up, I really love that. It feels so invigorating.
And you don't get overheated, obviously, not nearly as quickly as you would in the summer or warmer days.
Right.
So I am a big proponent of that as well, absolutely. Facials, massages, again, anything that helps get the flow of blood moving, your circulation, anything like that. I know there's right now, it's been going on a while now, but the hot yogas, or now there's a company here in Knoxville that is doing all sorts of different modalities in steam. It's not just yoga anymore. There's cycling, right? There's spinning, there's yoga, there's aerobics. I mean, it's really interesting what people are getting creative for, and it'll kick up a good sweat. So whatever floats your boat, right? Whatever floats your boat, but just keep moving, please. Again, the energy is very frenetic right now, and we don't want to getting stuck in who we are, because that just takes us down a whole different rabbit hole. And then we have to try to figure out how to get out of that rabbit hole. So those are some of my favorites, and I believe Carolyn's as well, that we usually share with people, and we do ourselves. We truly do. And then there's, of course, the energetics that we are always talking about, and the infamous brush up, brush off, and zip up. Right? Zip up first before you walk into either a room, a session, family gathering, friend gathering, whatever it is. Grocery store. Remember your shielding.
Yeah.
Remember your shielding. There's many different facets to what's going on right now. A lot of different facets.
Yeah.
So we want to try to be as prepared as possible. And the energetics are a real thing when it comes to what's going on now. So please when you get out of your car, make sure you zip up first, okay? And then the moment you get out of wherever you were, and before you get into your car, please try to brush off, right? Just a little bit, just if anything.
Yeah, and the reason we suggest this is because, again, we have an energy body.
Yes.
That, extends out 3 to 5 feet. So we actually feel energy before something hits us physically. So when we're out in public especially, we are interacting with people in their biofields. We're picking up on their energy, their emotions. Sometimes we might feel some anger. We might get frustrated, So it's very important to be mindful of your energy. So the zip up keeps you just kind of in an energetic bubble, and the brush off clears, that energetic clutter, as we like to call it, off of you. The other, just real quickly, I'll mention on our website, if you sign up for our newsletter at holisticinstituteofwellness.com, you will receive a beginner's guide to chakras and energy fields. And it's just a simple educational tool that will really help you understand more around the energetics.
Right. That's a great tool. I've given that to a lot of people. Again, just a matter of understanding of what's happening and what's happening with us.
Yeah.
While the collective is having its own experience. And the brush off and zip up is another way to think about the boundaries, right? We're just creating an energetic boundary.
Right.
Because again, it's what's happening now and what is needed to just at least set up boundaries, just like we would in a family situation again, or whatever it is for you. What is it that definitely will not, so you don't get taken down in the process, right? Just put up a loving, gentle boundary.
Right.
And it is amazing what can happen etherically and telepathically. You don't necessarily even have to say anything. In your mind, put it up, and everybody else will respond to that.
Yes.
It's very interesting how that comes about. Gosh, let's see. Reiki, acupuncture, all massage again, treatments. What type of energetic treatments are you getting? Are you
Biofield tuning.
Biofield tuning, gosh, of course, absolutely.
Yep.
So many different types. Again, people are getting very creative out there on how to work with what's happening now. It's wonderful how many choices we have.
It is, and I was going to say, we have just a plethora of practitioners.
Yes.
Again, on the Holistic Institute of Wellness website, under practitioners, we have probably a good 10, 12 practitioners, all focusing in different areas. We have aromatherapy, like Jana said, we have biofield tuning, we have Reiki, we have acupuncture. We have some that are doing past life regression work. I mean, it's endless. So it's Akashic Records,
right.
Yes. Life coaching. So there's a lot of treatments out there that you all can receive that will benefit your not only your energetic health, but just that overall, encompassing total self that we've been talking about today.
And that will help you all stay grounded.
Yes.
And centered, which is the main goal.
Right.
How to stay grounded. Some people would call it 0 point. Some people would call it neutrality. Either way, what helps you stay grounded? Visualize that energy coming down, leaving the bottom of your feet, going into Earth Mother, anchoring in at the core.
Yeah.
Feel yourself stable.
Yes.
And that will help with the centering. The grounded and the centering.
So Jana, I meant for us to do a card today, so
Yes.
I failed to grab those, but they're right there, so I'm just
can
going
see
to
'em.
pop away and grab those, and then I'm going to have you actually pull a
want me to
card
grab 'em?
today. No, I'll get them.
You got them?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got them.
Which are we pulling today?
Let's do the
I
new.
like the
Let's do the new
chakras.
chakra reading cards, since
Okay.
we are talking about self-care
energetics and chakras.
energetics. I think this would be a great deck to pull from.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have
Okay.
you grab those.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm just going to have everybody take a moment and close their eyes, if you would, for us. Take a nice couple of deep breaths and just move into that centered place of being. And Jana is going to pull a card for us that will give us an energetic focus as we move through this month together.
Right. So what is the main message that we are all needing to hear right now? What are our higher selves guiding us to hear?
What'd you pull? Holistic health.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
I'm telling you, this stuff is awesome.
That's like magic.
For real. How beautiful is that?
That's beautiful.
Oh my
Holistic health.
golly.
And you know, on angelic, that is the symbol for our dear Archangel Raphael.
It sure is. This is called the caduceus.
Yes.
For those who aren't familiar, and of course some people would recognize it as, isn't it interesting that the medical community adopted this symbol? Mm-hmm. And so that's called the caduceus, but we have a very different way of understanding it.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
It is. And this has to do with the base chakra, which is the root chakra, which sits at the base of your spine. Grounding and centering. And so this says you've drawn this card today to let you know that healing is at hand. It is your natural state of being to be healthy in all aspects of your life. Your mind, your body, and spirit are constantly working to attain good health. Due to the world we live in, which is filled with stress and toxic chemicals, disharmony is prevalent. The body, however, has an innate intelligence to heal. Your job is to get out of its way and clear your emotional and mental imbalances so the body can heal itself. Wow. Disease and sickness can occur on so many levels. The body can store old emotions and beliefs, which in time can create imbalances in your outer energy, causing disharmony and disease. Yeah. Healing is holistic. And when you can work on the many layers of being, miracle healing can occur and a state of well-being can take place. Have you been feeling out of balance, sluggish, and generally unwell? It is time to tune in and become aware of any disharmony in your field. Do what's required for holistic healing to occur. It's time to expand your awareness and look behind the issues at what emotion or outdated belief system could be causing an imbalance. You are the most powerful person in your life to create profound healing. It's time to look at yourself holistically and let go of anything that is not serving your highest purpose at this time. Yeah. Do what is required to nurture this process, whether it is to go see a healer, massage therapist, start a daily practice like yoga, meditation, or some form of exercise. So funny. I love when this happens. You may also be guided to change whatever you eat or change something in your environment. Whatever your mind, body, and spirit is calling you to do, it is a perfect time to take action and invite holistic healing into your life. And the affirmation today is, every little cell in my body is happy and healthy.
Beautiful.
How beautiful, Jana.
Beautiful.
Great
Oh,
pull.
man, that's just gorgeous.
Yes, awesome.
Just perfect. Well done,
Wonderful.
everybody.
Yes, well done. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We are always so grateful for the support that is shown our way and through our community and community partners, clients, students, we're just very, very grateful for you all. So have a wonderful month of February.
Right.
Enjoy the love, enjoy the self-love. Give yourself a hug, give somebody else a hug, and be well, be healthy.
Be well, be healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you.